Hey everybody, how you doing? Happy Friday. Welcome to another episode of the Local Marketing Institute Q&A Live with with
Click. There we go.
with a click. With Greg Gifford from Search Lab Digital. You can reach him at Greg Gifford on Twitter, not X, just saying. And me, your host, Ben Fisher, steady demand at the Social Dude on Twitter, not X. And if you haven't already, join us on the Local Marketing Institute Connect on Facebook, not Meta, because we have over 2,505 members on there. And Greg and I are on there. People are there to help each other out, ask questions, ask the tough questions, and get answers.
And spam each other a little bit.
Oh, just a little bit. Come on. Your DM's always open for me, right, Greg?
Right.
And then finally, if you would like Greg and I in your ear on a bi-weekly basis, join the Local Marketing Institute podcast. You can get us on Apple, Google, Spotify, iHeartRadio. And if you don't have any of those, I really don't know what to tell you.
Then you can't really listen to us.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they could, but like it'd be really, really difficult.
Just have to show up live at that point.
Yeah, I know, right? Okay. Screw the podcast. We're killing that thing. All right. How you doing, buddy? What's going on, man?
Excellent, man. We had the 4th of July, so got to hang out, do family stuff. That was fun. Kids are
Excellent.
getting antsy because it's the first time in a long time we haven't gone to the beach for the summer. So they're a little wanting to go, but I'm speaking at a conference in Bali in December, and we're taking them to that instead. So
That's such a pain, man. I
I
mean, you
know.
have to go all the way to Bali.
Yeah.
It's like what a whole 10, 11 hours ahead of the west up the west coast or east coast, something like
I
that.
know. It's more than that. It's crazy. You know what? Let me see. What's the time difference?
All right. If anybody knows the time difference before Greg can get it, that would be awesome. And Nate, if
They're 13 hours. Yeah, so you're right. They're 11 hours ahead of West Coast time.
there you go. All right. Yep,
But yeah,
yep,
it's
yep.
about 26 hours just in airplanes, not counting layovers to get there. So it's a brutal trek to get there. But once you're there, it's absolute paradise. So I'm
Yeah.
pretty excited.
Very cool. And for the audience, so you all know, Greg and I are like, Greg has been to Bali twice. I've never been to Bali. I have to go to Bali. So you never know. We might do an LMI session from Bali one day. Just saying.
That would be pretty cool.
Yes, it would be. Some quick shout outs. We got Mark in the audience. We got Hardy in the audience. Hey, what's going on there, Neil? Let's see who else we got. Familiar faces, familiar faces. Looks like we got a lot of new people here today. So that's awesome. Awesome, awesome. Thanks for joining, everybody. All right. Well, then with that, why don't we get into the news?
Or the news-ish.
It's very news-ish. All right. Yeah, we say it's news ish because I'm just saying it's like, news that's happened over the past, I don't know, 2 weeks. But hey, that's okay. We're not a daily show. It's okay. So, all right, we're going to get started. So the first one we're going to get started with is Miriam has done a wonderful job. If you don't know Miriam, she does a lot of writing for Moz. She always puts out really good, insightful articles that has just great content. By the way, she's also a Tolkien artist. So if you are not following her on Twitter, please do.
She's
And
awesome.
yes, she is amazing and awesome. So, but she's gone ahead and she's put together this really killer guide, which is basically 11 ranking factors for your Google business profile. Unfortunately, 24 hours is in there, Greg. I'm sorry. It is.
See, again, it's semantics, but I don't feel like that's a ranking factor. That's an element of if you're searching for a business and that business is closed, for certain verticals, it makes sense to instead show the businesses that are open. I feel like a ranking factor is something that they're looking at to differentiate you, to say that you're a better answer than someone else.
Right.
And during business open hours, the hours thing is ineffective and doesn't matter. So I don't know. That thing just still chaps my hide.
Yeah, it does to me too. I had to actually I almost get into an argument. No, not an argument, but we had a really good debate with a big franchisor that we work with. And he's like, we're going to get everybody to go 24 hours. What do you think about that? And I was like, I think you're really heading for an awesome area of suspensions and having a lot of fun with bad reviews. He's like, what?
The thing that I think most people don't get is they read it or hear about it and they think that it means if they set their hours to be open 24 hours, they rank better all the time.
Right. Exactly.
Which that's not at all how it works.
Yeah.
So
I mean, and I simply had to tell them in this case was, and by the way, this is for all of you out there. If you have people who are asking you about this question about whether 24 hours matters or not, the answer is take a look at your call logs. Are you getting any actual calls after 10 p.m.? Are you getting in calls at 2 a.m.? Unless you're like an emergency plumber, I doubt you are. I really doubt you are. So just take a look at your call logs, set your hours accordingly. You don't want to become a target for somebody like, I don't know, me. All right. All right. So next on to the news-ish is basically we've got something of I think is a test, basically. And that is that even though Google's kind of coming straight up and saying, no, this is real, I haven't seen it yet. Maybe you have, Greg. Have you seen any kind of consumer alerts on a Google business profile?
I have not seen a consumer alert on a business profile.
I haven't either, but there's this help doc out there about this, right? So, which means it should be real. I don't know. But we take a look at it, and basically what they're saying is you may see a banner on a business's page to let you know that suspicious reviews were removed. And you may not be able to post reviews. Of course, that happens, right? And then, of course, they may hide their reviews for a business for a period of time. That one I think is really kind of sneaky, but I understand why, mainly from moderation standpoint. But this banner that you might see on a business page to let you know that suspicious reviews were removed, I can see that being weaponized by people very easily.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of get it that like they want to let people know if there are repeat offenders doing fake reviews that like, hey, this guy's done fake reviews. Like, I can see at a high level why they think this might be a good idea, but it makes it super easy for spammers to go drop a bunch of fake reviews that they know are going to then get reviewed or get removed. And then that results in the banner showing up for somebody that wasn't doing anything nefarious in the first place.
Yep.
Not a great idea.
That would be just a horrible attack vector, and God knows how long it's going to take for Google to actually remove such a thing, right? Because they're going to probably say, well, no, you had fake reviews. We removed them. So yeah, you get to walk the hallway of shame. I'm sorry. The walk of shame is yours. And we see, by the way, Yelp has this, of course, right?
Yelp's had it for a long time.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
But who cares? Who uses Yelp?
Right. Oh man, I don't know about you. Last time I was looking for somebody local, it's either I'm looking for a Google LSA ad or I go to Angie. But anyway. All right. Next piece is going to be about verification videos. And is that hold on, that might actually not be the right Twitter link.
Was that did I just share the wrong thing? That was like something random.
I think so. Yeah. Oh wait, no, it is. Okay, because my post is above it. All right. Yeah, some dude hijacked my thread. But anyway, so it's been common for a lot of us product experts to know this, but basically when you do a verification video, you can go into your advanced settings and you can actually delete that video, right? Which is not really, doesn't really actually matter. It doesn't affect anything. But now Google's coming out and they have updated their help documentation to state that these videos do disappear after a certain period of time, which is great from a privacy standpoint. Does it mean much? Nope. But if you're an agency and you're dealing with clients and they ask you, well, how long do these videos stay? Well, guess what? They stay until Google removes them.
But
Yeah,
why would anybody really care?
I know.
Like for me, it would be like, why not leave it there and not delete it in case there's an issue in the future? You can prove really quickly. I got verified with this video before. It's still up there. Why do I need to send you another one? Come on.
And you can't even see it, by the way.
Yeah, and you can't see it, and nobody else can see it either. So it's not like there's a privacy concern in the first place. An
It's
odd,
weird.
it's an odd addition to the system.
Yeah, but it is what it is. And yes, John, video verifications stink for some. They never seem to load, and then you need support anyway for live video verification. That's because they don't go up. Uh, yeah, there are issues, but you got to look at the positive side of it. And the positive side is we hope that has gotten rid of more spammy companies and lead gen companies and hijackers, etc., than it has, helped, I guess. Something like that.
I mean, it seems like it would. It's for sure, if nothing else, saving Google a boatload of money sending out crap tons of postcards.
It's actually kind of interesting because this week I've actually had two clients of mine say, "Hey, we were offered the postcard option." I was like, "What?
Really?
Huh? That's like freaking unicorn."
All right.
So, but we get a lot of our clients to go through the steps to basically get them the text or the email prompt. So
Right.
that works so much better. All right. Well, let's get into some questions, my man. First one is going to be for you. And before I do this, as Greg was saying, please put any questions that you have into the question and answers area of Zoom. Also, we love, love, love to tear Google business profiles apart and websites and give you constructive feedback that you can take and implement that are going to help your local SEO strategies. So for that, please go into the Q&A, drop a link to whatever you would like us to audit, and then we will go ahead. We will take a look at it. We will audit the heck out of it. We're not going to sugarcoat it. We're going to give you straight up direct answers. No BS. All right. So the first question is for you, buddy. All right.
Right.
This one, let's see. When was this one done? This is 28 days ago.
We've got to call it that. Nate said we call it GBP roasting.
Yes. Oh, dude, GBP roasting. I love it. I love it. I love it. We should can we get a sound effect on that?
I mean, I could go find like some fire or something, I guess.
We can make a sound.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
welcome to the GBP roasts.
Yeah.
Have some fire in the background. All right. Anyway. Okay.
Right.
All right. So Kim, let's see. Is Kim here? Kim.
Kim is not here.
Kim
so
is not
hopefully, Kim,
here.
you're listening on the replay.
Exactly. All right. Amazing lighthearted insults.
Oh, come on, Nate. If we're going for it, we're going for it. I'm not staying lighthearted. We're going to be brutal.
We're going to make your Google business profile bleed. Let's just say it. Okay. Okay. In a nice way, though. We'll be nice. We'll be gentle, right? No, never mind. Okay, we won't.
Probably not.
Yeah, okay. All right. So Kim asks, pretty sure I know the answer, but she wants to ask a question anyway, of course. But I have a client who's SEO guy. How come it's not an SEO gal?
Well, maybe in this case, it really is a guy.
Quite possible. Quite possible. All right. Is the primary owner of her GBP. Okay. She and another of the guy's email addresses are also owners. 3. Count it. 3. All right. He's ghosting her about information about her site and GBP. Fortunately, she controls her domain. What is her recourse for? Oh, God. What is her recourse for gaining primary ownership of the GBP besides using the Google form to request? She has a lot of 5 stars that she doesn't want to lose, of course. Go for it, my man.
I'm kind of wishing she was here. I'm confused.
I'm confused too, by the way.
If she is an owner and the SEO guy is a primary owner,
Yep.
and he's ghosting her about information about her site and GBP,
Yep.
but she controls her domain. So let's break this down.
Yep.
Her SEO guy is ghosting her, which means apparently they are no longer working together, and he is refusing to answer any attempts at communication, and he's not giving her information about her site or her GBP. Well, she owns her domain and controls her domain, so she should be fine there. She's also an owner account on the GBP. So why does she need this guy to give her info? I don't understand. If she is an owner profile and she has access, why it would matter that the guy's not answering her.
All right. I'm going to answer this really quickly because I'm reading through this and I'm going, okay, I think I understand what's going on here. And I think what's going on here is we have user error, basically. So Kim, what you don't know is that when you are an owner of a profile, you can toggle it to make yourself the primary owner of that profile, wrestling primary owner control from this SEO dude. Okay. And then you can summarily, and by the way, you can do this. Yeah, you'd have to transfer primary ownership to yourself. Then you can edit the dude and you can get rid of said dude from your Google business profile. That's it. That's all you have to do. That's how you take control. And I just say this because I have customers all the time who say, hey, can you make me primary owner? And they're already an owner. And
So that was the actual question, was how to make herself primary owner.
Yep.
I guess I'm thrown off by this. She has a lot of 5-star reviews that she doesn't want to lose. Like, why would she lose them if she's the owner of the profile?
She probably thinks that she's lost. She doesn't have that kind of control, and that he can.
Yeah.
And the reality is he can. Well, you wouldn't lose those reviews, but he can boot you out. That works too, by the way. It sucks, but it works. So if you're not working with said SEO guy, boot SEO guy out, and yeah, Bob's your uncle at that point, I guess.
I
All
guess
right.
so. There we go.
All right.
And
Where did the saying ever come from, by the way? Bob's your uncle.
I don't know. We should find that out.
We should find that out.
The next question for you is from Faith. Let's see if Faith is here. Faith is not here. Faith,
Okay.
hopefully you're listening on a replay. Faith's question is about disgruntled employee removed Google pages.
Oh, yes.
And Faith asked you, can we hire your company to help us recover 8 Google business pages that a disgruntled person removed?
All right. Well, the answer here, Faith, thank you, is that since this question was asked 23 days ago, the answer is going to actually be no. And here's the reason why. Is that when you have pages which are being removed, and in your case, didn't count. Oh, it's a painting company. Yeah. So because you're a painting company, unfortunately, your Google business profile, as soon as it's removed, will either be immediately removed from the index, which means that the knowledge panel is gone, or it'll be removed within about 72 hours on average. Now, that being said, you do have up to 7 business days to recover said profile, which can be done through support or an escalation on the community. And unfortunately, to directly answer your question, it has been more than 7 days. So the answer is no, we couldn't help you. The only thing that somebody like us could even think about doing for you is setting up a new one, which you can do, and then trying to get the reviews recovered. Being that you're a painting company, that's also going to be really difficult if you're a service area based business versus a storefront. Recovery is just easier when you have an address showing, because technically the address is hidden to support reps, even though it exists in the Google database. But that being said, Greg and I think we were talking about this earlier, and we wanted to answer this question because of one thing. We have now been doing this podcast and webinar how long, Greg?
Don't ask me, bro. It seems like forever, not in a bad way. It's been 2 years at least.
I think at least 2 years.
Yeah.
At least. And I think I could count maybe on half of my hand the amount of times we've ever actually talked about what the hell we do.
And we for sure haven't done it in at least a year.
I'll tell you. So we're going to take this moment for get the podcast started.
John wins for the day. Hold on. That gets
yeah, there we go. Exactly. So, but yeah, so basically, so we decided we will take this commercial break to introduce you to Search Lab Digital and Steady Demand. So with that, Greg, go for it, brother. What do you do? What does Search Lab do?
Search Lab. So we are a boutique digital marketing agency. Basically, that's just kind of referring to the fact that we don't have a typical agency setup with teams of people. Each individual consultant does everything for the client that they work with. We do local SEO and we do PPC. So we tend to work more with car dealers, attorneys, and healthcare and cannabis dispensaries, but we do have clients in just about every vertical. We do a lot of local SEO work, a lot of paid search work, and we do consulting as well. So we have a lot of more of the consulting clients are on the paid search side, where it's like really big, giant companies that just want a kind of a higher level expertise look, but their own team is running the work. We do that as well. But yeah, local SEO is our jam.
And little known fact, we all know that Greg, of course, is famous when it comes to the automotive industry.
Oh, stop.
But however, when he joined Search Lab Digital, he broke out into the cannabis space. Why? Free edibles. Just
that would be the dream, but it doesn't actually work out that way, unfortunately.
I know we work with a lot too. Hardy is probably back there laughing his ass off right about now, by the way.
Yeah.
All right. So
how about you? Tell us about what Steady Demand does.
All right. Steady Demand. Basically, we are a local SEO company that specializes in Google business profiles and the hardest GBP problems you can ever think about. Oh my God, how did we get that reputation? I want to wipe it off, but we have it. And we are filled with Google product experts. Of course, you all know what those are. And we have about 5 that actually work for Steady Demand. And we do not do pay-per-click, but we do local services ads, of which we're a managed partner, which basically means we have 3 direct contacts over at local service ads, which is really, really cool. But we do everything as far as GBP goes. We also have some very unique products. Like, for instance, we have what's called My Business Assurance, which is about keeping locations in compliance and really helping them out with suspensions when they happen, and basically making sure that we also protect those profiles from everything from hijacks to edits to review attacks, fake reviews, you name it, basically all for a whopping $79 a month. Yay. Protect your ass. And but yeah, that's basically us in a nutshell. And we do SEO too, of course.
That's it for that one.
That's it. All right. Thank you there, Faith. We appreciate your question. All right, Greg. This one is from none other than Mark Barris. Okay.
Which we don't even have to look up. Mark's always here. Mark's an OG. We love Mark.
Exactly. Mark, you are going to be one of the first people that gets the anonymous attendee hat and t-shirt together. Just saying. We might even have to think about like doing like a neck scarf or a bandana or something like that, you know? I don't know. All right. Anyway. All right. So even though we do know who one of the anonymous attendees actually was.
Yeah.
One of them. We heard there's multiples. Okay. So what are some of the do's and don'ts with internal linking on a website for a single location, local business? How much internal linking is too much?
13.
I thought the answer was going to be 42.
This is actually an excellent question. Almost every time the answer is you're doing it too much. Because most people think that they just should link to everything from every page. I literally was looking at a potential client's website a couple of days ago, and on the home page, each sentence on the home page had 3 links in it. There were like 70 something links on the home page, and there wasn't that much text. That's way too much. really, you want to make sure it makes sense. There is no you do it too much and you get penalized. It's just you do it too much and your site looks goofy. And it's more about not overdoing it, because you want to think about how you are guiding your potential customers through the purchase path. Google looks at the internal links on your site as a clue to what A, you think your most important pages are, and B, what you want customers to do on your site. And realistically, the easiest way to think of it is if you were to graph out all of your internal links. Most people, it's going to be this just cloud of links and a bunch of random stuff going everywhere from everywhere else. That's not the right way to do it. If you were to graph it out, it should almost look like a pyramid where you have your homepage at the top with just a few links to important upper category pages. And then once you go down a path, you don't start linking to things on the other side anymore. Because once a user is going down this path, it doesn't make sense to have links to other things that are unrelated. You should only be linking to things that will further drive them through that purchase path. That's the right way to do your internal linking. And if you think of the link juice side of things, think of your homepage as a bucket of link juice, a bucket of liquid. If you are going to poke 100 holes in that bucket, then each page at the next level has 1/100th of the value of the homepage. Versus if you went to, let's say, 4 pages off of the homepage, that's now 25% the value of that homepage. And if you go to 4 off of that, you're splitting by 25% each time instead of splitting by 50 each time. So think of it like that. Don't think as much about, do I need to do more or do I need to do less for SEO reasons? Think about doing more or doing less because it is making it a faster path to purchase for your potential customers. And make sure you do use descriptive keywords in your contextual links. You cannot get penalized for anchor or for keyword-rich anchor text. It's actually really valuable internally to do that.
Yeah, and I completely agree. And I'll be honest with you, Greg. I mean, I'm sitting here going, until you said the last part, right? Because you know me, right? My whole attitude to SEO is do what's natural.
Yes.
Don't do for Google. You do for the user, right? Because it's always been that way. In my 30 years of SEO, if you do something right for the user, you're doing something that Google can appreciate and will ingest, basically. So I don't like to put a number on it. I don't like to put a rule on it. I like to think about what is that user's journey and who am I going to help? Who am I targeting? Who does this page, what is it meant for? And what do they need to find, basically, to get their answer at the end of the day? And if their answer's on another page, lead them to another page.
Exactly.
Straight up. Kind of how shopping sites work, if you think about it.
Yeah, right.
You know, it's like, just saying, I was like looking for a Star Wars thingy. Like, I want to get a replica it's like, if I want it, I'm going to go and click a link to a replica
Yep.
All right. Anyway. So excellent answer, my friend. All right.
Next question is for you. Let's see if Syed is here. Syed is not here today.
Hold on. Jonathan has a question. All right. So, Jonathan, we should answer these in the Q&A, but we're just going to do it really quickly.
I would love to answer this question for Jonathan. Can I jump in and answer this question for Jonathan? For everyone listening on the replay, in chat, Jonathan just asked, so with that, is it bad putting recent blog posts on the homepage? 1000% yes. I'd never want to put blog posts on the homepage unless a recent blog post is something related to sales. But typically the way that we break down blog posts is main website pages are bottom of funnel pages. Blog posts are mid to upper funnel pages. If someone's on the home page and you're trying to drive them to convert, which is what your site is, that blog post probably isn't going to drive conversions. Why would you want to put that on the home page? There's not really any value there to distract them from the path to purchase.
Yep. Unless you're a news website, and then blogs are fine on the homepage.
Yep.
Just saying.
All right. So, question for you from Syed, who I know will be here to listen on the replay because Syed's been here multiple times. Okay. Syed's question is about sensitive nature reviews. My client operates a mental health clinic with categories for both mental health clinic and psychologist. We all know the importance of reviews for ranking and conversion, but my client's patients are not comfortable leaving reviews due to the sensitive nature of their visits. How can we encourage reviews without compromising, can't talk, patient confidentiality and comfort?
Yeah, so that is basically yes, Nate. It kind of HIPAA violation. It's a HIPAA violation if the healthcare company so in other words, the psychologist was to turn around and say, you know, thank you, Greg, for coming in and looking at hair transplants. I don't fucking know, right? So in other words, if the healthcare practitioner was to name the client without the client naming themselves, that's a violation of HIPAA. It is not necessarily a violation of HIPAA if the client volunteers the review, basically.
Yep.
But 9 times out of 10, if not more, if you're going to go see a psychologist or a mental health clinic, you're probably not going to leave a review, at least not under your real name. And so what I would encourage and say is, and this, by the way, works in the personal injury space, the criminal justice space,
Bankruptcy.
bankruptcy, right? Anything which is sensitive, going to Walmart, because if you go to Walmart, you probably shouldn't leave a review. No, just kidding. So, but, have a family member do it. Or if you're not comfortable with that, have them set up a new Google account and leave a review under that. And that is totally acceptable too. A lot of people use pseudonyms in their Google accounts, so it's acceptable. Yeah, but that's about the only real advice I can give on that one. What about you, dude?
Yeah, I mean, whenever we have clients that have issues like this, we just kind of let them know. Yeah, when you ask the person for a review, say, "Hey, look, don't ask the guy that's coming in." I'm thinking of so many funny things I could say as a psychologist, but probably not appropriate for the podcast. But you could be selective about who you're asking for a review. If they've got some really embarrassing problem, don't ask that person to leave a review. They're not going to do it. But if they're coming in because maybe they're an athlete and they're having problems getting in the right headspace for a game and there's nothing embarrassing about that, make sure you ask those people to leave a review, because those people won't have a problem leaving a review, because it's not embarrassing to see a therapist or a mental health clinic if it's something for self-improvement and not, you're addicted to eating tree bark or whatever it might be.
Hey,
also, don't feel like...
Greg, I was addicted to eating tree bark, man. Don't go there.
Sorry.
Don't go there, man.
But see, I didn't name you and you named yourself, so it's not a HIPAA violation for me to say something about it.
Bada bing, bada boom. You got it.
But also, another important thing to point out, all of your competitors have the same problem as you, so it's likely most of the people in your market don't have reviews either. So it's not like you're saying, wow, everybody else has 500 reviews and I have 10, and I can't get more because everybody's embarrassed to leave reviews. It's nobody's going to have reviews in that situation. So just make awesome content and do all the other things, because it's very rare that you're going to just rank better because you got a couple of reviews. It's reviews combined with everything else that you should be doing. So just, hey, don't worry about it. Do the other stuff instead and move on.
Let's have a little bit of fun. Okay. I just searched for psychologist in my area. Let's take a look at reviews that are being left for psychologists in Arizona. All right. What do you think? Let's do this real quick. Okay. So some reviews. We'll just take a look at the newest. This company is called Transitions Counseling and Consulting out of Goodyear, Arizona. And I will give everybody a link to that really quickly. This is what they look like. What do we got here? 10:30? Oh, yeah, we're doing good on time. Okay. So they've got 4.9. They've got 79 reviews. Oh, dude, they are not answering any of their reviews.
Probably because they're worried about HIPAA violations.
Maybe.
Or they just suck at SEO.
Yeah, they just don't care. Okay, so let's see. We have Shannon's very kind, courteous, professional, buy the best Best therapist I've ever had, listens carefully, gives valuable feedback, and explains things in an easy to digest manner. Okay, nice. Generic review, right? I thought he was very knowledgeable, great sense of humor. Nice. Generic review. Calm almost office environment a day, communicate with the patient. Okay. Not ashamed to see it. Go see Crystal. I'm 2 months into seeing her and she's already changed my life. So these are things that are not even talking about specifically what they've gone to do and
Yep.
see. Just saying that I have a great experience. Again, kind of like going to a Walmart, right? All right. So Crystal White has been fantastic therapist dealing with family dynamics and my aging parent, addressing self-esteem, work-related insecurities. So that's getting personal. Okay. I'm grateful. Emil is professional, knowledgeable, attitude towards me and my issues. And again, we just kind of seeing the same exact pattern from these reviewers that they've
Or
gone there, but not for what.
yeah. Or like Steven just said in the chat, he did a search for psychologists near me and everybody has one review. I did the same search. The person that ranks number one for that search for me here in Plano, Texas has 3 reviews. The second person in
Interesting.
the pack has 107. The third person has 32. You go to the Finder. After that, it's 17 reviews, 2 reviews, 104 reviews, 499. Clearly, they're faking something. Then
You
102,
think?
then 102, then 32, then 27, then 48, then 32, then 16, then 16, then 35, then 1, then 7, then 2, then 8. So like there's not that many reviews out there compared
No.
to what most businesses have. So
Yeah.
probably a non-issue for Syed.
Well, but the nice thing here is this is I mean, from a psychological standpoint, it's like, do you want to do business with the guy with 1 review or do you want to do business with the guy with 79 reviews? That's the question.
Yeah,
If all is equal, they've both got a 4.9, they both got good reviews, a little bit of bad.
I'm
What's gonna
probably, if
entice
I'm
you?
looking for a therapist or a psychologist, I'm probably not really reading their reviews. I'm more looking at their websites and are they accepting my insurance that I have? And do they have therapists that specialize in tree bark eating disorders or
Yeah.
whatever I need? It's more about what do they specialize in and what do they help with than what is the group, because I'm looking at an individual person, not the reviews for the practice.
That's very true. That is very true. I guess so. Yeah. So I guess the answer to the question here though is that encourage your customers to either create another account or to leave reviews which are in a non-specific type of situation where they're just talking about the experience versus what they were being treated for.
So we are at the 20-minute left mark. We should probably switch over to live questions, right?
Um, I'd rather clear out these 28 days.
Well, then let's clear out the 28 days.
Yeah, we're almost done though. We're good. We're good because some of these are newer actually, but this is a 28 day or so. So this one is coming from our buddy James Cant. James has a question. James is here. Thank you, James. We love you, buddy. All right. So James' question for you, Greg. He actually specifically asked for you. He said, "I
No,
need
we
Greg to
didn't.
answer this." He does. He's
Oh,
like,
stop it.
I don't want to hear from Ben. I've got to hear Greg." Okay, you're right. He didn't do that. Okay, fine. So James is asking, I uploaded Q&As to the GBPs for my clients, but in the last year or so, I get an error after doing 10 or so and can't upload any more for a few days. Yet people overseas seem to have no issues with the same task. Any insight into the issue?
I've heard this once or twice. So I have heard that it has happened to other people, but it is very uncommon. My question is the same thing Ben said this morning when we were going through questions for the day. James, how come you're not just using the API to do it?
That question is for you, James.
I know you're here. You just put something in the chat.
Yeah, you've got to answer. You have no choice.
Maybe he walked away right when we answered his question
Do you think so?
or asked his question.
I don't know. He might. Oh, there he goes.
Oh, he doesn't know how to use the API.
And that is the answer, by the way. Most people don't know how to use the API.
So
There's a couple things you can say about this, though.
about the API or about the issue?
You go for it. I got some higher level stuff that I want to add on to it.
Well, A, I would ask why you're trying to upload so many questions at once to so many different people. B, I would ask you what your strategy is for the questions that you're uploading, because a lot of times when we see people bulk uploading questions, they're uploading questions that probably shouldn't have been uploaded in the first place. But whenever you have problems like this, did you ask support for help and they didn't give you help, or you're just asking us because it's been going on for a while? Like, A, I would say, have you talked to support? B, I would say, have you gone to the community to ask for help there? And now I really just want to shut up and hear what it is that you have to say. That's this higher level stuff that you were testing me to see if I was going to say it. And you're laughing because that's exactly what you were doing.
I was not.
Oh, come on,
No,
you were.
no, 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 no. So the higher level stuff is this, is that you have to look at how Google does content moderation. So the first thing is if you've ever run into this where you're adding a location to a Gmail or something like that. Yeah, they wouldn't actually know what to do, by the way, James. So, so when you're adding a bunch of locations, if all of a sudden that will throttle you, and you have to wait literally 7 days to even add one more location, basically, to your Google account. The same thing also happens, by the way, with photos. If Google sees you aggressively adding photographs, they can content moderate you where you're not able to upload photographs on a regular basis for like a week, sometimes up to 6 months. I've seen that happen. Same things happen on reviews. You're getting reviews at too higher of a clip. They're going to go ahead and they're going to content moderate you. In this case, yes, James, it's not like your IP is flagged because they don't actually track the IP address, but they do track the account activity. So what you might want to do is you might want to try it from a different account. If it's not working from that different account, yes, it is more tied to you personally, and you can have somebody else on your team try, but the profile might actually be flagged at this point, to which case you basically are going to have to wait. Now, the workaround is the API. 100% is the API. And because the API is not flagged in this kind of manner, it has a different type of user which is actually associated with it. And that user is basically the API account user, right? Which is nowhere close to being tied to you personally. There are pieces of software out there which can do Q&A population, everything ranging from Birdeye, Chatmeter, Soci, as the higher end platforms. And I believe actually Noah Lerner's Boost tool does Q&A as well.
I think it
If
does.
not, hit up Noah. And okay, so you've got Birdeye. Okay, so it should do Q&A then, James. Basically, just go ahead and put in a ticket to Birdeye and ask them if they can do Q&A. But I think it's very important though to go back to what Greg is saying is why are you doing these so fast? I mean, I get it. I understand it. We do it for our clients too, but since we're using the API, we're able to ask the questions through the API and then send the answers as well. But we never do like 10 in a day because that's too much. It's too much of a red flag, basically, for that kind of activity. So that was
Yeah, we
my
kind of
higher
piecemeal it
level
in
shit.
over time.
Okay, and you do it manually or API?
We use a tool to do it.
Okay, all right, cool. Let me see how more 28ths we have here because you know what? If we've got too many, we might as well freaking yeah, we've got 4 questions in the queue that are 28 days or older.
Let's do them.
You want to just take a little time? Well, let's take a look. We're going to take a quick commercial break while we go ahead and we check out the questions in the queue. All right, so let's see. You want to give us the
I will.
all right.
Why don't we skip the first two and just do the ones from Mark and James since they're here?
All right, so let's do it. Okay, go for
Which
it.
means
Start with
the
Mark.
next one is for you. That's Mark's question. Mark says, Perplexity AI serves Yelp for local. Should I allocate more time on client Yelp listings?
No, dude. Absolutely not, Mark. Here's why. Is that Perplexity is just one of the search engines that is out there that is using AI. Okay. But we don't know if Perplexity is going to be around in 3 months, 6 months, a year.
Yep.
I mean, the fact is that Google could re-roll Gemini with fucking awesome results, and guess what? Perplexity goes and takes crap. I mean, people were like, "Oh, Bing has local results and it's AI answers and all that." Who is using Bing now? I think they grabbed what, a whole 1% of the market
Yeah,
share.
maybe.
So no, I would not focus on it yet, unless your customers have customers. Say that 20 times really fast, Greg. So unless your customers have customers that use Yelp.
Or depending on the type of client it is, if it's something that a lot of people will be looking up driving directions to come visit that client, if they are a physical storefront, keep in mind that Apple Maps also uses Yelp for review stars.
Sure.
And we have this issue with a lot of our car dealer clients that they will have an amazing review score with a crap ton of reviews on Google. And you go over to Yelp and they'll have like 150 reviews and a 1.5 star rating. How many people will decide maybe they don't want to come do business with you because once they pull up directions on Apple Maps, it looks like you don't have a good reputation? But that's less about paying attention to Yelp profiles and more about paying attention to Yelp reviews.
Yeah. So,
Boom.
in other words, don't alter your strategy on something that is untested, unproven. May or might not be here. All right. Last one is for you, Greg. This comes again from Mr. Kant. How are you doing, James? Again? Yes. Have there been mummers of issues uploading images to GBP listings? I seem to have a high rate of. You're getting rejected a lot, aren't you, James?
James, I
work on
think
that, buddy.
Google just doesn't like you, buddy.
Yeah, I know. It's just like, dude, I mean, come on.
You know what? We're rejecting this question.
I'm
just kidding.
We're joking. So,
yeah, I mean, same sort of thing. Use the API, figure that out. That solves your problems. Also, like Ben was saying, space it out. Like, don't upload a bunch of pictures to a bunch of different profiles all at once. Piecemeal them in, and you're probably going to be okay. Also, depending on what the vertical is, be careful about what the photos are. They might be getting rejected because of other reasons unrelated to your pace or other issues.
I can only say this without revealing any information. James is in a sensitive category.
So that could be it too, then.
So that probably plays a very large part to this. Yeah, definitely, James. Images should be able to be done through Bird Eye too, by the way. Just I believe, don't count on that, but I believe you can do it. So try that. And you know, just like Nate's saying, he's like, you should totally be geotagging and EXIF tagging every single image. You know, you forgot that, Nate. EXIF. Come on. That's so important too.
I really want to do this. Where is it? Round of applause for everybody in the chat today. The chat has been hilarious.
Yes, it has. It has. Yes. Love it. All right. So what are we going to do? Are we going to start up a comedy routine? Yeah. Is that what we're going to do?
I mean, we could.
You know, should we do that? You know, it's like if we ever get together, all of us at a local U, it's like get up on stage and do like the Q&A live.
Yeah.
Oh, with the audience, you know? All right.
That'd be pretty sweet.
That would be fun. Okay. What do we got? We got 11 whole minutes.
It's time.
I think we can do this.
We can come on down and hit some of the live questions, right?
I think we can do it. Let's do it.
Okay, wait. That one was my question. So this one's your question.
All right, do it.
And this is for Nate.
Okay.
Nate said, is keyword stuffing in the business name in Google Business Profile still a thing, or is Google finally cracking down on that gray black hat strategy? Also, has anyone tried it on Bing Places for Business or Apple Business Connect?
Okay. So Nate, my first question is when you woke up today, did you take a deep breath? You're breathing in some good oxygen, getting you started, maybe having some in other words, no, nothing has changed, man. Nothing at all. As a matter of fact, everything's gotten worse. Worse, 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 worse. You remember this? It was what, 3 years ago, right? Remember this? We were talking about this in the PE community. And you had personal injury companies that were just starting to learn how to keyword stuff, just starting. And what happened at that time is we told our community people, the product managers over at Google, were like, you realize by allowing this stuff to fall through the cracks, within like a year or two, everyone's going to do it. And it's going to taint the ecosystem. They
Yep.
were like, it won't taint the ecosystem. Unfortunately, they were right. Because you still have, say, a personal injury company, out of San Diego that puts in auto accident or dog bite into their name. But guess what? They actually do auto accident or dog bite. So it's not misleading and it's not fraudulent. So anyway, keyword stuffing is a thing. I will have to say this though, because I've always said this, and that is that while Google is not necessarily cracking down on it, quote unquote, your competitors will. You put a target on your back immediately. And I tell anybody who's doing this, because I mean they actually use our service to do this, but they basically keyword stuff and they want to open up new locations, right? Even if they're doing it properly, it still puts a target on your back. Meaning that if you do it, say in your garage door company, and you want to stuff in 50,000 keywords next to it, fine, go for it. But guess what? You got to watch out, because somebody like me, I'm going to come around the corner, I'm going to redress you.
Yep.
And then I'm going to submit you again. And then I'm going to use some really special techniques to take you out. Even if you're legit, by the way. That's the problem. Even if
cheating.
you're legit. Right.
And then the big problem is typically they all do it out of the same account, and then they get an account level suspension because Google can very easily see that you're keyword stuffing on every business that's in that account.
And then they go ahead and say, oh, well, I'll set up a different Google account for every single one of my listings. Guess what? That doesn't work either, because Google looks at that as spam.
Yep.
So you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. If you add the keywords, you're going to get more business, but you're probably going to get suspended. So just be ready for that. Anyway, that's kind of the answer, right?
And no, I have not ever tried it on Bing or Apple, because who cares?
Dude, if you go to Bing, Bing is a freaking mess, man. It is horrible. It's riddled with keyword companies and lead gen companies because they do imports from GBP. So yeah, who cares about either one of those areas, I say. All right, cool. For you, buddy. From James, is there documentation on how to qualify for this type of map icon? It involves being a tourist attraction or a popular spot. What makes this nightclub get the icon out of all of the others in the area?
There's not really documentation. It's just it costs you money. You got to spend 10,000. Is it 10,000 a month?
Yeah, but I want to go take a look at the icon he's talking about.
I forget what it is, but it's like you spend, I think it's $10,000 a month or more on Google Ads. You can get it.
That's for the paid pin. Yes, but I want to see it. I'm going to take a look at this really quick and see if this is actually a paid pin or not. Right? Yeah. Because I mean,
that might help. He may have something totally random.
Oh, this is I have seen one of these before. This is where they're taking no, it's taking a cover photo and bringing it in. Hold on, let me verify that. Yeah, that's what I knew. It's taking the cover photo, man. It's not the logo, it's just the actual photo itself.
I've honestly never seen that before.
No, I have not seen that before either, actually. That I've never seen that. So yeah, that's kind of cool that you saw that, but it's not anything that's normal. James, if you want to go ahead and put a tweet out about that.
Well, look in the bottom corner. That other business has one too. He's got two things on the map showing.
Yeah, they do. They do. James, if you want to go ahead and tweet about it, I'll be happy to retweet it because I've never seen it before. It's probably a test. It's kind of interesting, but I don't know.
Okay,
The
where
image
is this though? It is
looks
in
shitty.
which town? I wonder if it'll show up if I go to maps. I am
I'm
not
just
seeing it.
yeah, no. I mean, I'm seeing your normal stuff, which is logos. But yeah, this is probably a limited test.
Yeah.
Anyway, like
Oh,
I said,
cool.
if you want to go ahead and tweet it, James, you might just be a user that is whitelisted for this, so it might be like a 1% test. Um, which you just rolled the dice and you just got it. So yeah, throw it out on Twitter, man. It's interesting. Barry will pick it up, I'm sure. All right, cool. That being said, Mark asked, any update on WhatsApp integration looking forward? No. That's the answer.
Yep.
All right.
Which means Steven has a question for you.
Oh, okay.
For a doctor's office GBP, like a dentist, do you only list the category as dental clinic, or do you also use dentist, and for the practitioner only use dentist?
I love this question, Stephen.
Great
There's a
question.
reason. It's a great question, but I'd love to answer this one though. And the answer is that if I go to a dental practice near me, the dental practice is not a dentist. The dental practice will not all of a sudden grow arms and be able to clean my teeth. So you are correct in the fact that dentist is for the practitioner, whereas dental clinic is for the practice. Remember, categories are who are you, not what do you do.
Unless potentially it is an office with only a single dentist. If there are not multiple dentists there, you could put
No,
dentist.
I would argue. I would argue
Even if they don't
because
have a practitioner listing set up and the only thing they have is a profile for the entire office, you would not use dentist as a category?
no, because then they should have a individual practitioner listing because people look for doctors more than they look for clinics. Usually, usually. So I don't know. I think it's one half dozen another. Um, I also have to put out there and say this is that there also is no problem with having both. You can have a clinic, have a dentist category or subcategory as well. So Google's not going to slap you for that at all. They'll be fine with it. So test it out. See what kind of calls you're getting.
Yep. Max is back. Hey, Max.
All right.
All right. You want to bang out one more real quick?
Yeah, this is a good one. All right. For you, buddy. Happy
Ooh,
Friday. All right. What are your thoughts on the hostile pin move by nefarious users? Have you talked to Google about requiring notification to be sent to the owner so they have a chance to deny or accept?
I am
You know why I'm
not.
laughing about this.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't remember what we're allowed to say on this or not because
I
of our
do.
NDAs.
I do. It's okay.
Okay, I will let you answer this because I don't actually remember how much we're able to talk about.
All right. So the only thing I can tell you is what's public knowledge, and basically it's this. What are my thoughts? I think it's downright evil. I really do, actually. Because at least how people are still doing it to this very day, it's still causing suspensions. It is still causing re-verifications, even though it's short moves versus long moves. By the way, no, the suggest and edit does not 100% work, by the way. I know it's common thought that it works 100% of the time. It does not work 100% of the time. There are other tactics that you can do. Anyway, but the only thing I can tell you is, again, what's public knowledge, which is that we had talked to Google about this when it first started happening. They fixed long moves, meaning that, let's say you are a practice in San Diego and somebody would drag you to the Pacific Ocean. Well, that doesn't make sense. Why would somebody drag you that far? You're in San Diego, somebody drags your map pin to Los Angeles. Well, again, your address is in San Diego. It doesn't kind of make sense that it's going to be in Los Angeles. So that's blocked. However, you're on 5th Street in San Diego and somebody drags your pin to Main Street. That is allowed. That will re-trigger verification, unfortunately. Yeah, Nate, unfortunately, that actually might work on, crap. I really didn't think about that. Yeah, anyway, so
That's John, that's the whole point. It's
yeah.
obvious that the address on the website is not the location of the map pin, but also y'all would probably be pretty shocked to see how often the map pin doesn't match the actual address.
Yep,
So
exactly.
Google is not super great at saying, here's the address and this is the exact map pin location. There's a lot of times that the map pin will be off by, 50 yards, 100 yards, even more than that. So it's not necessarily they know exactly from GPS coordinates what that address is.
Yeah, so and also Google is and always has been very bad at communication, extremely bad at giving the merchant the choice of what things to do. And so for that reason alone, they will not lock the profile or lock a feature of the profile just because the owner says this should never happen. So it is what it is for today. That being said, if you are having clients who are getting short move attacks, which basically is like you fix it, it happens again. You fix it, it happens again. If you're getting those, please come to the community. Send those over in the community. Give Matt, take screenshots, show the evidence of what the proper long lat is and what it's been moved to and how many times and days and all that. Document it because we are looking for this information so we can prove to Google that this is actually an issue. So that is the call to action. Please do go to the community and raise a thread. Even if you get it fixed, raise a thread. All right. With that, I think we are done, bro. Give me 30 seconds so I can clean this up and take us out.
Thanks so much to everyone for joining us today. We missed a couple weeks ago because it was 4th of July weekend. You guys really brought it in the chat today, so let's keep that energy next time when we're back in 2 weeks because it was way more fun seeing all the joking going on. Max, great to see you back, buddy. It's been a bit since we've seen you here, so it's cool that you're back. Everyone else, thanks to the regulars. Thanks for the new listeners and viewers and everybody listening on the replay. Make sure you submit questions in the future so that we have those pre-submitted questions to answer. And don't forget to bring us some audits to do because we do want to do the GBP roast next time.
Yes, we definitely need to do the GBP roast. Oh, also, by the way, one last thing. If you all want to vote for a next guest host, throw it in the chat really quick. We got a minute. Why not? Who all would you like to see come on stage?
That would be a fun one.
Yes.
Whoa, Bill, that's awesome.
Yay!
Thanks for joining us live, Bill. That's super sweet.
And Bill had a really super snarky, awesome, sarcastic, great, funny comment earlier. I just don't remember what it was. Hey, we had Joy last time. Okay, we got to vote for Darren. Andy,
Darren,
okay.
fun.
Oh, you're out. Yeah, don't worry, Crystal. Okay, yeah, Crystal's great person to have. Super smart. Okay, we got 2 for Darren, 1 for Andy, 1 for Crystal. Another for Darren. Got another Darren. Oh, look at that. 4 for Darren. Mr.
I
Darren
think it
Shaw.
would be Darren then.
Come on down. All right, who all likes Darren's videos? I want to see it up or down on that.
Yeah, Darren's videos are great.
All right, look at that. Look at that. Yeah, people love Darren's videos. Okay, very cool. All right, I'm going to reach out to Darren today. And what do you want to do, Greg? You want to do next week? I mean, not next week, but next episode.
Yeah,
We
let's
are
do that.
on. We're on for next episode, aren't we? Actually, hold on. Let's take a look at, and
Yeah,
then
like,
we're
I
out.
don't
Then
really
we're out
travel
of
anywhere
here.
for a long time.
Okay, that's on the second. Yeah, I'm good too. So, all right.
Sweet.
Sweet. Oh yeah, no, of course Joy has great content. John, weren't you here when she was on like 2 weeks ago? So it was a really great session actually. Watch on the replay. All right, everybody.
I like how like everybody's like, Darren's videos are awesome. Joy's videos are awesome, and nobody says anything about my video series. Come on, y'all.
Oh, geez. Weren't you? You were the OG of the video series, though,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, I'm
I've
just
been
saying.
doing a weekly video series for over a decade at this point.
That's what I'm saying. You've been doing video before people even thought about doing video series.
Yeah.
And you don't include hype, which is good.
Yeah, I'm not trying to game the algorithm. I'm just trying to help people. So
Yeah, exactly. 13 Google strategies that will light your world on fire.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Fine. We're done. We've looked at this. We've lost half of our audience. Okay.
Yeah.
We're out of here.
See y'all next time.
Bye. Have a great weekend, all.